used to fight, but I lost control.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2022 supernatural action film Shadow Master. A film that is written and directed by Pierre Reginald Chow, and it stars D.Y. Sow, Leighton Matthews, Brian Lee, Craig Ng, and Anna Ha. Right, okay, I will try my best to explain the plot of this film, but it's not going to be easy. Right, okay, there is a chappie, a talented fighter who becomes like the night watchman at this building. I think there's some kind of apocalyptic future, but don't quote me on that, because it certainly looks like everybody living in this building, it's almost like, you know, everyone's in rags and living in despair and all this kind of stuff. So it feels like it's some kind of almost like Mad Max type future. But then there's also a scene of him being interviewed in a police station by a policeman in a shirt and tie. So I was a bit confused by that. So pardon me, I'm going off track a little bit. So yeah, he becomes this night watchman at this building. And he is killed and then brought back to life and empowered by this demon, I suppose, to kind of do its bidding and kill all these bad guys. And I don't know, I give up. Yeah, the plot is ridiculously incomprehensible in this film. It is really, really difficult to give you any real synopsis for this film because it's a complete and utter mess. Now, there's two sides to this film. I'm not saying everything in this film is terrible. Big chunks of it are terrible in regards to the script, the plot, things like that. It is bonkers. It doesn't make any sense at all. But then there are other parts of this film that are really quite entertaining. And what I mean by that is, in particular, the martial arts. So the action in this film is like martial arts based. And the lead actor, D.Y. Sow, is obviously a very, very talented martial artist. So when you get the action scenes in this film, they're really very impressively choreographed. And they're quite fun to watch. I mean, some of the moves you see are like, wow, fantastic stuff. And I think if they'd have just put a little bit more effort in a plot that made even 5% of sense, I think they might have had a fairly entertaining film here because, you know, like I said, there's extracts of this film that are really fun. But massive chunks of it are just like, what are you doing? It's also going as well, I think, for like a Mortal Kombat feel because these... I don't know what they are. There's these people dressed up, and some of them have got like demonic voices and things, and long fingernails, and you know they look like some out of Mortal Kombat. These characters that he has to fight. So he kind of fights them. He loses, he gets killed, and then gets brought back by this demon. That's kind of, you know, sucking him dry from the inside, almost, this demon or something like that. So he's kind of going up against these enemies like that are like look like a dress from a Mortal Kombat convention. It's just odd, you know, because earlier on you seen him fighting normal people, and you know they're really fun and entertaining fight scenes, and then you see him fighting these Mortal Kombat wannabes with these gravelly voices, and it's just like, what is happening? What is going on with this film? And then this film's attempts at character development are so sloppy and clumsy, they're almost childlike. You know what I mean? We're introduced to characters and dialogue scenes that are like so incomprehensible and so dull and so pointless. It is literally one of those action films where if you cut out all the talky bits and just sewed all the action scenes back together, it would probably be a better film and more entertaining. Because they or someone has attempted to turn it into a comprehensible plot or story by adding these characters and these scenes where the people are talking and having dialogue with each other that very few of the cast can deliver, because they don't have the skills to deliver like acting performances to the level that you need. It would help if what they were asked to say were interesting in the slightest or made any sense, but they don't. The film's version of exposition, as I mentioned, is this guy being interviewed by, I'm presuming it's the police anyway. He's in like his interview room and he's kind of speaking retrospectively. So the film kind of is told in like flashback type of way. But it's really just massive exposition dumps because, you know, I mean, the story is incomprehensible anyway. These exposition dumps don't really help at all. You know, when he's being interviewed by the police, in fact, they probably make things worse. So this is a real disappointment of a film. Obviously, there's talent here in regards to the action side of things and the choreography and the martial arts. That I can't really fault. You know, I mean, it's not John Wick standard or, you know, Scott Adkins film standard, but it's still pretty good, Donnie Yen standard. But for a budget film like this, a low budget martial arts action supernatural thing, it's of a good standard, that, but the rest of it is just terrible. It just does not make any sense at all, the film. So unfortunately, this is definitely one to avoid unless you just like looking at flashy martial arts scenes. But there are a million one other films that you could choose other than this that have got better plots. I do not recommend this one, unfortunately, at all. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this review. I'll be back with more reviews and content on the channel very, very soon.